From a father in Vermont who attacked state troopers with his excavator, and a skid loader in Nebraska that went on a rampage outside of Home Depot, to a crazy Florida man who stole a tractor and tried crashing it through this squad car, and much more. Here are some of the best moments of police versus heavy machinery. December 18th of 2021. Officers in Vineland, New Jersey have just been called to the scene of a destructive backhoe rampage. In the early morning hours, 20-year-old Joshua Gonzalez hopped in the cab and began smashing into cars and homes in the Penn Lincoln Mobile Park. Multiple officers drove toward the scene. Their body cams offer us several views of the tense situation. Meanwhile, residents recorded the destruction with their cell phones and CCTV cameras. In all, Joshua's rampage and final moments were captured from every possible angle. Let's start with an officer who watched as Joshua tried crushing her squad car.
I just got the police call.
Bro?
Hey, is anybody in that car? Do we have a police officer in that car that was just struck?
6, negative. It's my vehicle. 829 and 826 have been totaled.
Michigan, call chief of police.
We believe Joshua drove off after hitting the cop cars in the street. CCTV cameras pick him up 10 minutes later in this person's backyard. He smashes through everything, even their cute bridge and garden decorations. You can see sirens approaching as Joshua backs up and aims toward the person's house. Then, he drives the backhoe clean into it, trying to tear it down. When that doesn't work, he turns back toward the police. Wild cell phone footage captured what happened next.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Run, 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 go! Go, he's after you, go, go! He's crazy, my goodness. Oh my God.
Joshua chased that officer into a cul-de-sac where a ring camera on someone's home captured more of the mayhem. Joshua spent the last moments of his life in this cul-de-sac. Sadly, his rampage ended when an officer opened fire on the cab. While we can't show that part, we can show the tense moments leading up to it, thanks to this officer's body cam.
Hey, they're screaming. Louis, you gotta get up here. Shots fired. Shots fired. Stop! Hey, stop, stop, get him out, get him out. Get him out. Copy, shots fired.
Now let's see that again from the shooting officer's perspective. He arrives on the scene and is immediately confronted with an extremely fraught situation. Now, we won't show the shooting itself. Just know that this officer fired several times through the window, shattering the glass and striking his target. Police tried rendering CPR, but Joshua had already passed on the scene. It's unclear what sparked his backhoe rampage. A recorded 911 call from earlier that morning suggests he'd been driving around town for a while before ending up in the trailer park. In the end, he damaged several homes, flipped a handful of cars, and injured 3 officers, all of whom made speedy recoveries. As for the officer involved in the shooting, a New Jersey grand jury decided not to press any criminal charges. January 14th of 2024 was a tough day at work for Samuel Payrot. It was a cold winter afternoon in Lincoln, Nebraska. Samuel's job was transporting a skid loader from the Home Depot near Pine Lake Road to his employer's business. That apparently sent him over the edge. Police received calls about a disgruntled man in a piece of heavy machinery around 2:40 p.m. Mr. Payrot was allegedly driving around the Home Depot parking lot, smashing cars and chasing people away. When officers arrived, he seemingly set his sights on their cars and didn't take his foot off the gas.
Holy shit.
Thankfully, none of our officers were hurt during the altercation. A local man did suffer a few minor injuries when the skid loader struck his car while he was still inside, only worsening the charges against Payrot. Police believed that Payrot was high on drugs when they arrested him. Aside from his erratic behavior, he spoke incoherently and made several nonsensical statements. In the end, Samuel Payrot was charged with second-degree assault on an officer and 5 counts of criminal mischief. He pleaded not guilty in March and is still awaiting his trial date. This 41-year-old man from Dinmore, Australia, just wanted a new dirt bike. But instead of saving up, he decided to steal one. On October 15th of 2021, CCTV cameras outside a bike dealership in Brisbane captured an end loader smashing through the building's front windows. Watch how the driver heads inside and leaves with more than he bargained for. Instead of stealing one bike, our driver made off with two. It was like winning double prizes on the arcade claw machine. Unfortunately, his getaway vehicle wasn't the fastest or the most inconspicuous. It wasn't long before police found the bike thief and a wild chase ensued.
Okay, he's run over the bikes. Everybody stay well clear of this tractor. Okay, he's dropped the bucket. He's dropped the bucket. Turning right onto Tudor. No, he's straightened up. Darley Street. Stand by, he's on two wheels. Yeah, just about rolled there, B-car. He's driving into a... Okay, he's driving onto the railway line. He's just broken the gates. He's going to be hitting the railway lines. Mate, we're heading towards the... just give us room to get...
I've got my partner on solenoid and Tiger and take it back.
Okay, we're on the railway line. We're heading into the railway station. Stop all trains, mate. Get onto them. Stop all trains if there's anything. We are on the railway siding, heading in towards...
According to reports, the bike thief kept driving on and off the tracks and eventually entered a more suburban area. He drove over bushes and crashed through several backyards, eventually finding himself back on the railroad. The chase ended when the driver crashed into a large tree. He allegedly fled on foot and tried hiding in the tall grass. Thankfully, police dogs had his scent and found him moments later.
Out the back, I'm in the bush. I've got all his clothing in the creek.
Hands in the air now!
Good boy, mate, good boy.
We never learned the suspect's name, only that he was arrested on the scene and held without bail. During his rampage, he caused significant damage to the bike shop, nicked several police cars, and ran over plenty of private property. For the cherry on top, police learned he'd stolen the end loader earlier that night. Hardwick, Vermont is a small town near the Canadian border. It's home to about 3,000 people, including a father who didn't want to see his son go to jail. On June 14th of 2022, state troopers Gabriel Schrauf and Skylar Velasquez arrived at a rural home in Hardwick. They were there to arrest 24-year-old Brandon Tallman, who was wanted for an alleged assault that had occurred the week prior. What should have been a routine arrest turned into a harrowing confrontation when Brandon's parents refused to let him go. The video opens as troopers struggle with Brandon and his mother, 48-year-old Amy Tallman. She's not making it easy and distracts them long enough for Brandon's father, Wayne Tallman, to hop in his excavator. Look how close the bucket came to striking our state troopers. One of them could almost reach out and touch it. Thankfully, it never made contact, and everyone walked away unharmed. All three Tallman family members were taken into custody. Wayne was looking at 11 years in prison if convicted. Brandon was looking at 41. In the end, Wayne pleaded guilty to 3 felony charges in exchange for 90 days in jail. Amy received a citation for interfering with police. But Brandon's situation is unclear. From what we can find, he has a court date scheduled for September of 2024. On May 4th of 2024, the Key West, Florida Police Department received a flood of 911 calls. According to the callers, a madman in a tractor was driving around a local college campus, crashing into buildings, flipping cars, and allegedly aiming for people. A Key West officer arrived and immediately learned how dangerous the situation was. Imagine seeing this heading right toward your squad car.
The tractor is going to be on College Road. I believe it's a green John Deere. It's in the middle of the lane.
We won't show it, but our officer opened fire as his attacker tried to flee. All of them missed, but the threat was enough to stop 22-year-old Ethan Lane in his tracks.
Shots fired! Get on the ground! Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired across from the DOT. Get your hands behind your back!
It's at this moment that Ethan has a change of heart.
I'm sorry. Sorry for what? You almost killed me.
I'm sorry. I hate society.
Okay, well that's not the way to go about it, bro.
I'm sorry.
Did you get hit?
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Tuck your knees into your chest.
I fucked up my life.
Yeah,
My life is gone.
You sure did, Ethan. You sure did. He's so upset that he begins screaming violently. For the sake of your ears, we won't make you listen to it. As other officers arrive, Ethan explains why he turned the campus into a demolition derby.
Why are you acting like this?
I got threatened, and I wanted to kill them.
Just check to make sure everybody back here is good. My aim was that way. Make sure there's everybody back there.
They threatened me first. I wanted to kill them. They had to pay.
Oh, check what?
Just there's people in the background there. Just make sure everybody
one
back here
custody.
is okay.
My life. I had it good, and now
Yeah, well,
I'm gone. I'm sorry.
sorry. Look at me. Look at my car, man. I'm okay. I'm all right, man.
I won't do anything.
Sit up.
I swear.
Sit up.
Sarge, you good? Yeah, I'm
You
fine.
get shot?
I'm fine. No.
You fine? Stand up.
Ethan was arrested and charged with over a dozen felony crimes, including 2 counts of attempted homicide. As the story goes, Ethan is a groundskeeper at a nearby golf course. He stole one of the course tractors and used it to ram through the Lagoon Landing's dormitory. He then set his sights on a man and his 4-year-old daughter who were sitting inside a car. Thankfully, they were able to escape after Ethan allegedly smashed their car and backed away. According to reports, he caused hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages. As this happened in May of 2024, we imagine Ethan is still going through the court system. Stowe, Ohio is a small city in Summit County, about 8 miles outside of Akron. In 2010, it was home to roughly 34,000 people and a teenager who played too much Simpsons Road Rage. On December 4th of 2010, police received a call about a stolen dump truck in Stowe. It didn't take long to find the truck, and it appeared as though the driver was willing to stop. Then, things took a turn for the worse when this disgruntled teen put the 1996 Mack truck in reverse.
Ram either. We're gonna ram another cruiser.
Calling your 90 Ramble.
Yeah, it is. They just ran the cruiser.
Copy.
Cruiser 2. Someone's got stop sticks. He'll run you over. Watch out. He's not stopping. Get some stop sticks up. Location and direction of travel.
Let's see that one more time from the trailing officer's perspective. Our officer keeps pace as the chase kicks into high gear, or at least as high a gear as that truck can go. The teenager picks up speed on the open road, eventually leading police onto the highway.
Victory Life Church. Passing Victory Life.
Under Route 8.
Under Route 8.
Left on Graham, eastbound Graham from Hudson.
Eastbound Graham.
Getting on Route 8 southbound, from Graham.
Route 8 southbound from Graham.
DB in advance for Swerving back left.
The chase continues through Akron, heading southbound on I-77. It finally ends when the teenage suspect crashes into a guardrail and gets stuck in a ditch. Police arrest him on the scene and can't ignore the smell of alcohol on his breath. The teenager claims he fought with his father that day. Upset, he left the house, climbed into the truck, and began drinking with his buddies. That's when he decided to steal the dump truck and drive away. He was 16 at the time, so there was a chance the courts could charge him as an adult. Lucky for him, they kept everything in juvenile court. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 2.5 years at the Scioto Juvenile Correctional Facility. The thing about stealing a forklift and running from the police is that you're never going to make it very far. At least, you shouldn't, right? On November 25th of 2023, a 12-year-old thief in Ann Arbor, Michigan proved everyone wrong when he stole a heavy-duty forklift and led police on a 13-mile chase.
There's emergency traffic on Measure West.
No traffic, no pedestrians, speed 17. Passing Spring. Going southbound on Spring, just went up over the curb.
Southbound on Spring.
Still no traffic, no pedestrians, speed 18. Passing Felch.
Yeah, I'm coming up Spring.
Passing Cherry. K9, don't get in front of it. He's lowering the hooks. Don't go in front of it. K9, you call it.
Yeah, we're crossing over.
You know, for a 12-year-old, he's not that bad of a driver. That is, until he starts running over traffic cones.
Pull over. Pull over now.
Yeah, we're coming from Ashley.
There's Miller and Ashley.
Northbound Ashley. These are about 9 miles per hour. Like traffic, no pedestrians. Okay, we're crossing over Kingsley now. Where are you guys with possible bike trip?
That's a negative.
Coming up south.
Clear Ashley and Bellevue.
Eastbound.
From here, the chase continues at a snail's pace. So, let's use this time to talk about how this preteen stole a 35,000-pound piece of heavy machinery. It began when officers received a call from Forsyth Middle School. The forklift owner had left the keys in the cab, thinking there wasn't anything to worry about at the school. He couldn't have been more wrong. The 12-year-old saw the keys, hopped in, and kick-started his joyride shortly before 7 p.m. Even though the forklift can hardly top 20 miles per hour, police still keep their distance. It could easily crush their cars, and they don't want to risk him losing control and crashing into somebody's house. That's when things ramp up as the middle schooler turns into a residential area. We feel bad for those who decided to park on the road that night.
Turning northbound, residential street, Georgetown Boulevard.
Northbound in Georgetown.
Sideswipe the car right in front of Yorktown.
Sideswipe the car brake. Was that a positive on the strips?
Negative on the set. Sideswipe another car. Pickup truck.
Clear, hit 2 vehicles.
These are 18. No traffic, no pedestrians.
Oof.
Car number 3, sideswipe. This one's in front of 2160. Still northbound, coming up to Yorktown Drive. Sideswipe 2 more. And another. See that we're now turning east onto Rumsey Drive. Looks like he swiped another car.
Clear, showing you at Lexington and Ramsey Drive.
Unfortunately, the worst damage was yet to come.
Continuing around the cul-de-sac here. He sideswiped the car into the front yard of unknown.
By now, police are considering abandoning the chase. Their presence is probably making the kid nervous and causing him to crash. He'll have to stop eventually, at which point he won't be hard to find. All they have to do is follow the trail of damage.
And green. He's continuing north.
Clear, northbound on Nixon.
Looks like he's gonna possibly ditch it. He's on the sidewalk now.
Go ahead and reactivate your lights and sirens there, guys.
Crossover back on the roadway. Speeds are 15.
After about 35 minutes, the 12-year-old left the Ann Arbor area, forcing police to end the chase. That's where the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office took over and finally stopped the forklift. In total, the chase lasted over an hour and spanned 13 miles. The boy finally stopped around 8 p.m. and police took him to the Juvenile Detention Center. He was later released into his parents' custody. He's currently facing several juvenile charges for unlawful driving and fleeing a police officer. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching and be sure to tune in next time.